Hi everyone, welcome to another video of mine. So today we are heading to St Kilda Botanical Gardens in the Melbourne suburb of St Kilda, and it's roughly 20 minutes southeast of Melbourne by tram. So this is a place that many people walk or drive past, but not many people come and enjoy. It is very well known to the locals, but not very well known to most other people. I have never actually been here. This is my first time visiting. I have always gone past when I go to the airport or to the city, but I've never actually taken the time to come and enjoy the gardens. So at first glance, it is just a peaceful garden, a place for a stroll or a picnic or a moment of calm. But if you really slow down, you will find layers of history, design, ecology, and community life woven into every part. So let's take a walk together. The air feels cooler, the sounds change from the busy, bustling St Kilda area. The traffic and the other noise fades into the background, replaced by bird song and rustling leaves. It is almost like stepping through an invisible curtain. The garden covers approximately 16 acres and not really big, but thoroughly designed so that every turn feels like a new discovery. Paths curve rather than cut straight lines, and trees create natural rooms. You don't see everything at once, and that is intentional. It is a carefully composed landscape, not just a park. So the land that now forms the St Kilda Botanical Gardens was established in the mid-19th century, around the 1850s. At that time, Melbourne itself was still young, but growing rapidly thanks to the gold rush. Public gardens like this weren't decorative, but really essential. They served as spaces for recreation, places to showcase exotic plants, symbols of civic pride, and importantly, areas for education and scientific diversity, and also curiosity as well. So they have cinema, like an outdoor cinema here as well, which is on the right. They usually have it during the summer months, so not during the winter when the weather is cold or cooler, but when the weather is actually nice, they have like an outdoor cinema. You can see the fencing on the right. That is where it's held. So by the late 19th and early 20th century, the design of the garden softened. Curved paths replaced straight and ridged lines. Native plants began to appear alongside imported species. The garden became more relaxed and more naturalistic. And today the blend of the old and new is still visible. You can see one of the streets and there are plenty of cars that are parked there. So this is one of the quieter paths that you can take in the park. You can just go for a meditative walk, etc. So there are plenty of native Australian plants, exotic species from Europe, Asia and the Americas, and also mature trees that have stood here for well over a century. So there are eucalyptus trees, coastal plants adapted to sandy soils and salty air, as well as flowering shrubs that attract birds and insects. And then there are towering trees, so there's plenty of nice trees there, as you can see, and shrubbery, etc. And this is along the path on the border of the park. So this is actually a nice place to visit if you would like. It's generally a lot more quieter than many of the other parks as in the area, and considering that it's actually close to the city as well, I generally thought it would be a lot more busier considering how close to the city it was. But it was actually not too busy, but it was filled with people, but not as busy as I expected. So if you are into bird spotting, you might spot many different types of birds in the area, including rainbow lorikeets, magpies, nosy miners, and even cockatoos. So this is also can be a good place if you want to come and do some bird spotting, and if you're into photography as well, especially nature photography, you're welcome to come here as well and just take some nice photos, etc. But this is more for nature photography rather than bird spotting, but you can also do bird spotting here as well. And there's quite a nice rose garden there as well, as you can see, and some other trees as well, some native trees and imported trees. So this is the rose garden in St Kilda Botanical Gardens. So it is actually quite nice. I was here for a while and I did enjoy it. The rose garden is actually quite big. There's not sure what type of roses there, but they actually do look nice, like different colors, white, yellow, etc. I actually do like this place and I would like to come more often, but it is sort of a bit indirect from my place. I have to take a train and a tram, or a train and bus, and that does take a bit of time from my place. So as you can see, the rose garden is actually quite big, so you can come here and spend some time. So this would be a good place to spend at least maybe a few hours or half a day, etc., if you are so inclined to come and visit. And you can spend pretty much the whole day in St Kilda around the area. So there's a beach, there's Luna Park, there are all the good restaurants, and then you can come here and relax and have a picnic, etc. There is also a gazebo up ahead, as you can see. I did sit there a bit later on, and just admired the rose garden, which was actually really nice. So this actually feels like it's not like a bit away from Melbourne, because it was generally a lot quieter, but it's nice to be in a place that is closer to the city but doesn't feel that it's close to the city. And there's a Melbourne Botanical Gardens on the road as well, and I did take a video of that and I will upload it as well later on. But that Melbourne Botanical Gardens is a lot more busier than here, and a lot more bigger as well. But I will upload that video later on. I have not edited it yet, but I will later on and upload it in the future. Just haven't gotten around to doing it as well. But the Melbourne Botanical Gardens is a lot more bigger than this one, but it is actually nice as well. The both gardens actually really good. And then there's a Cranbourne Botanical Gardens, which is in the outer suburbs of Melbourne. That does take a bit of time for me to get to, and considering it's coming up to the colder months, I'm not sure when I'll be able to get a chance to go, because the only time that I'm actually free is on the weekend. So I'll try my best, at least in the next couple of months, to go. But that is if the weather is good. So I don't want to go when it's raining, not too cold, because it's coming up to winter now for us, and it is starting to get a lot more colder. And this is one of the parts that I really like, and the gardens are quite beautiful as well. This has become one of my favorite parks, but I'll try and get here as often as I can, but depending on the weather, etc., I'll try to come there as often as I can. So this is very popular with the locals of St Kilda. You can come here and just sit down here. There are a lot of people walking their dogs, families having picnics, people reading their books, people sitting on the grass or just relaxing. And there are actually small events and gatherings as well. So this is not a park that is very loud or overwhelming, but it's steady and comfortable and familiar. If you're ever in Melbourne or are in Melbourne, please come and visit the St Kilda Botanical Gardens. And I have actually told my family and friends to come and visit as well. And not many people have actually heard about it, so which is another interesting thing. So it is a nice place to come and visit. You can spend as long as you need here and come and visit, but I was here for about an hour or so and just wanted to relax, etc. But I didn't bring any coffee or anything with me, so I just sat down. This was after I did some plane spotting. When I went plane spotting in the morning, came here a bit later on. So it was actually quite nice to come here and relax. And if you haven't done so already, please check out my other channel. That's specifically for plane spotting. So it is growing slowly, but growing, and I'd like it to grow a bit more faster, as well as the channel as well. So if you haven't done so already, please consider subscribing. I would greatly appreciate it. And also, if you haven't done so already, please leave a like and also comment as well. That would be greatly appreciated. So this is one of the many places of botanical gardens. As you can see, plenty of native trees as well. So thanks everyone for watching. I hope everyone has a nice day. As a reminder, please don't forget to subscribe if you haven't done so already. And please leave a like as well. I'll greatly appreciate it. And also comment. So thanks again everyone. I will see you on my next video. I'll just leave you with the views of the park and the rest of the park. Thanks everyone, and enjoy the rest of the video.